Hello guys. so over today's video I will be going over a particular build. This particular build utilizes supercharges and I have Gemini, so you can constantly spam this in open world PvP and stay alive and virtually take on 5 or 6 villains at once outside the little Bohemia or the PvP phase, or you can duel people in the watchtower and basically heal any damage they throw at you. This specific build is made for tanks and this works for all powers. At the moment I've tried it with Rage, as you can see from my previous videos. As a Rage tank I've used the same build as Atomic, now Earth. So this build is pretty OP, so I will break it down and I'll show you guys how I spec. So first of all, the most important thing you need is the right artifacts. So Manacles of Force, this is perfect for PvP. Any damage you get, it absorbs the damage, halves the damage by 50%, then reapplies it over the next 5 seconds in smaller chunks, which is good. Then this one automatically heals you as long as you're getting hit by your target, and increases any healing received by 10%. And it also gives a cooldown on your shields, which is from this one here. So this one, shielding, cooldown on shields, self-healing. Then this is every time you use a supercharge, it heals me as long as I stay inside that green circle. So now, the one thing that makes this loadout really OP are my 2 supercharges. You can get away with 1, but because they increase the cooldown, you want to hit these supercharges back to back. So Perfect Poise, this is a acrobatics supercharge. It shields you and knocks down enemies and removes and protects me from crowd control. So that could be debuffs from a troller and stuff like that. And then this one here, let loose a blank explosion of blah 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 plants, damaging your enemies and healing yourself over time. The highest healing I've seen this do is 35k. Then with the Eye of Gemini on top of all of that, that's a lot of heals. So onto the loadout. So your loadout is going to be exactly like this, okay? So your 2 supercharges. So if you're not acrobatics for super speed, or we use what did they used to use? Supercharge does have one, I forgot what it's called, but every single movement mode has a supercharge that shields you and protects you, okay? So you can use, this is the iconic one, and this is from your movement mode. And then depending on your power, you will use a move which regenerates your supercharge. This is key thing here for this build. Regenerating a supercharge by using a power. So for Earth is Unstoppable, for Atomic is Unleash Antimatter, for Rage and Fire and Ice I am not too sure, but they have their own moves which regenerates a supercharge. So you need these 3 are the key moves you need to have in the loadout. Regenerate supercharge and your 2 supercharge spams. Now onto your other 3 parts of your loadout is you need minimum of 2 shields, okay? So in this build I've used 3, but I can take this one now, and for survivability I can put in brick for Earth, or I can have my immunity in there to give me that extra healing. It's totally down to you. But for open world I would use this if you're fighting against 4 to 5 villains, okay? And someone just sent me a duel, so I'll just show you the loadout. I'll go this. So as you can see, I'm going to spam my supercharge regenerator. So I'm guessing this guy's a healer, electric healer of some sorts. So so I can use my powers from 5 to 6 anytime I want. Now I can clip my supercharge with my breakout trinket. It gives me that extra healing. So right now I'm not doing nothing and I'm getting automatic heals because of this artifact here. Okay, as you can see, this guy is doing a bit of damage on me, so I'm going to pop one of my supercharges which is there, clip it with my immunity if you want, and there you go, I'm back to full health. Simple as that. Make sure you keep on spamming your power that gives you supercharge regen and clip it with the shields so you take less damage, and keep on doing this throughout the fight and you will be fine. See, it looks simple as that. The damage I'm taking is very small. Keep on hitting your supercharge regenerator from your power to make sure you're always at maximum supercharge. Now I'm going to clip my bloom supercharge with my immunity to get the extra healing, and there you go. Then use a shield. There you go, I'm back to full health. Simple as that. Nothing too hard about this loadout. This loadout works best with self-healing tanks. As you can see, I'm using it with Earth completely fine. With Rage, it is a bit difficult because Rage is all about damage. Damage is like a damage tank type power. So using this for Rage does work. As you, from my previous PvP videos, you see me use it with Rage, but it's the weakest power to have this build with. The strongest powers I would say are Atomic and Fire. As of right now, I have not tried this with Fire, but I would assume that it's good as using it with Atomic, because Atomic's a self-healing power and I can literally heal myself very quickly. So you can see my health is being pretty much full throughout the whole fight. Every time my shields are down, I'm using my shields, hitting my unstoppable for my supercharge regen. My supercharge is still full. So as you can see, this loadout is very simple to use. Okay, very easy. 2 shields. If you want a 4th shield, you can use it, or you can use some kind of breakout move, especially if you're playing against controllers who are using a heal debuff with the Rare artifact. Or you can use a brick to transfer some of the damage to a brick and survive a bit more. Or if you wanted to do a bit of damage, you could put in some of the damage moves for Earth, which is Jackhammer or Localized Tremor or Tectonic Break. It's totally down to you as an individual. Or if I wanted, I could go into my iconic powers and I could put in Sonic Cry to stun them and DPS them at the same time. So with this loadout, you can get very creative and go along with whatever you want. I could use this for a bit more damage, but the main key thing is having 2 shields, 1 power that regenerates your supercharge, and then either 1 supercharge or 2 supercharges, so you can hit them back to back without any issues. So make sure you keep on spamming this move and making sure you're clipping it with the shields and then hitting these 2 powers back to back, and you won't it will be very hard for someone to kill you. Okay, so as this build is very simple to use, I have a healer build that's very similar to this setup. Okay, the only difference is I have Eye of Gemini, I have the Orb of Orion artifact, and then my 3rd artifact is the Demon Fang. So that's the only difference, and I'm using the same setup. 1 power is for my supercharge regenerator. I have 1 supercharge, 2 shields, 1's my heal moves, and my other move is my heal over time. So this build is very simple. Anyone can pick this build up and become very powerful, basically become unkillable. Okay, so This particular build you can use for PvP arenas, but the only issue is this is a hybrid build, so hybrid build for PvP arenas is very bad because the supercharge regen is very slow, and if you use any of your powers, your power bar is completely gone. So if you do want to use this for PvP arenas, I would say go full might and power, and then put the rest of your skill points into health and go super powered. This build will work in the PvP arenas, but building up a supercharge will take some time and you will lose power, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about this particular build, or did I miss anything out, please let me know. Just one more thing onto my arguments. Please note this is for outside PvP, not arenas. So I have the tank artifacts, of course, all maxed out, and my stats are right now 38.9k. Don't worry about defense. Power is around 17.5k, and dom is around 6775, and my restoration is around 2.7k. So these are the kind of stats you're looking for as a full tank for this type of build. And when I'm fighting villains outside, to take it even further, I would use my OP back for the stats and my OP head, and then I would use a supercharge that gives me supercharge back every time I use my 2 supercharges. So if you're wanting for the extra stats, I do lose some toughness, but I gain damage, dominance, damage health, and damage restore. So for PvP, with your PvP gear and your 2 OP items, it makes you even more powerful, but you do lose that 800 plus 1900 toughness, so you will take a bit more damage when you're playing against a PvP player with full PvP. That's the only downside of it, but the stats make up for that damage you get. Okay, so thank you for watching. Hope this video was helpful for some of you guys. Okay, that's it. Thank you.